Welcome back to my car. We're heading to work again. Today's been kind of an interesting day. So we're moving still, obviously. So, these longer videos that I do won't be that much longer once I move to where I'm moving to. So, that being said, I have to figure out how to make them shorter, because I like to talk. So, I'm on my way to work, and earlier today, I went, they were all leaving, so I went to the store, and I decided to drive all the way to Barnes & Noble, and I'm not going to say which one in what city. There's 3 of them within the same 30-minute driving distance of each other, depending on traffic, 25 minutes. Typically 30 minutes is a fair time to get there, to any of the 3. Although one of them could be worse to get to. But anyway. So, I went to Barnes & Noble, and it was very interesting because they had what I was looking for, but not the one of the thing that I was looking for. So, I like role-playing games. I like tabletop games and other stuff. So Dungeons and Dragons is a thing that I enjoy. I also like I also have found, I have not had a chance to ever play, but I have found a Star Wars game that is like Dungeons and Dragons. And I like how it looks. I like how it sounds. I've read through the starter guide. It's Star Wars. The one that I read through was The Force Awakens starter guide. It happens around the timeline of The Force Awakens, or after it. I think it's after that timeline. Oh, that was very close. And I am behind the white line. Anyway. So, this game has a very interesting feel to it, but there's no character creation in the book that I have. You see, they won't be releasing supplemental, or they won't be releasing separate storylines or missions following this starter guide, which I thought was kind of weird. It literally says, I think on the website, that there's 3 of these games. There's The Force Awakens, then there's where you're basically a bunch of scavengers on Jakku within the storyline, and with the pre-generated characters and your own ship and everything. But then there's a rebel one, which I don't know about. I think you're members of the rebellion. But then I think there's an Empire play one, an Empire one. I could be wrong. Either there's one more after that, or it's those 3. But what was interesting was that the other ones all have expansions. They all have other books that you can buy. Wow, that was rude. They all have other books that you can buy that expand on and build on the others. Then there's the player's handbook, which has all the rules, the story making, and all the other stuff and whatnot. And it's very in depth, and it's very well set up and designed. And so, it's very well set up, and it has all the, character creation, classes, skills, ship battle rules, flying rules, modifications, upgrades for armor, weapons, ship weapons, armor, whatever. And it just feels like it's really in depth. Although I don't quite feel like spending $60 on the player's handbook right now, when I've never played the game. So yeah, we'll get into that another time. I will, go into that territory someday. But what they also had there's 3 other games that are tabletop strategy games with the minifigures and everything, like Warhammer 40K. And one of them, I can't remember the name of, is, you have your minifigures and stuff. So you have like your little rebel soldiers and imperial soldiers and your AT-STs and your AT-8. I don't know if they have AT-ATs, but I'm pretty sure they have the AT-STs and other stuff and characters, special characters and whatnot. And it's a strategy. You move across the table or board or whatever they have, rolling dice, that kind of stuff. That one I can't remember the name of. But then there's 2 others that really have my attention. I mean, this one does also to some degree, but not as much as the others. The other one is Star Wars Armada. And in Armada, you are in control of, instead of little soldiers and that kind of stuff, it's like Warhammer 40K and Battlefleet Gothic. You're in charge of the big ships. You have your Star Destroyers, your, Rebel frigates, and Mon Calamari cruisers, and Super Star Destroyers. Well, I don't know if the Supers are in there, but I know Star Destroyers are in there. But the game is, both of those games so far are $99 for the starter sets. Holy crap! That's expensive. But you get minifigures from both sides and all the other extra stuff in between. Now, what's interesting about Armada is the movement of the ships. You have this ruler that is segmented, and each section has like little rotation points on them, so that you can angle it and twist it and turn it any way you want. You can make like S shapes or U-turns or whatever. And then you can say, I'm moving my Star Destroyer so many inches down this particular flight path that I've designated for it. And that's the plan. That's how you move your ships. And I think you have like fighter squadrons, which are basically tiny little figurines that you have that represent a squadron of fighters that defend the ships. I could be wrong. I think that's in there though. And that's a very fun little game. Oh. Okay, we're good. It looks like it'd be a fun little game. But honestly, I just want it so that I can, shout out, I just destroyed your Mon Calamari cruiser. Or listen to one of my friends shout out, it's a trap, when I bring in a bunch of Star Destroyers with his one Mon Calamari cruiser. Okay, that's going too far. But the other game, the third one, the one that I actually bought the starter set for like $30 or whatever, it was like $25 or $30 or something relatively cheap compared to the others. It's called Star Wars X-Wing Squadron or something like that. Star Wars X-Wing or something. And in that game, you have your figures, and they are all freighters and fighters. The most of them are going to be X-Wings and TIE Fighters and, X-Wings, Y-Wings, A-Wings, TIE Fighters, TIE Bombers, TIE Advance. But then you have your more popular ships like the Slave One, the Millennium Falcon, and some other YT class freighters. You have the Houndstooth, another ship, another famous mercenary ship. The Ghost, another famous ship. Even the little snub fighter that comes with the Ghost. So you're basically, X-Wing is focused around all of the fighters. And yeah, some of the freighters. Then you have a ship, I think it's called the Decimator or something. I have it and I don't remember the name of it. And what it is it's basically a gunship-sized Star Destroyer. Okay, well, it's shaped like a Star Destroyer. That angular pizza shape. With instead of coming to a point, though, it has like a recession at the front of the ship that kind of comes back a little bit. Almost like a YT freighter. So how the Millennium Falcon has that little recession in the front end, this ship has that, but instead of being flat on the front, it still comes to points on each side of the recession. Anyway, and it's in there, but the way that you move your ships is different. Each ship has a plastic base that, instead of having a hole through the middle where you can just kind of glide it along the ruler like the other one, instead of this one just has a little indent on the base where you hold the base down and you place a card, one of several cards that come with the game, in that indentment, and you hold the card down, and that card is either a straight line, a U-turn, a left turn, a sharp left turn, a wide left turn, or right turn. You can angle it. Basically, it's a ruler of some kind, but instead of having measurements, it is set up where you hold it down once you place it against the base of your ship, and then you pick up your ship and you place the back end of the base that your ship is mounted on against the other side of the card, and you'll see like an arrow. So if it's a straight line that you're going, that's like a measurement of so much distance, a 1, 2, or a 3, which isn't in inches, it's just the cards are numbered based on how many moves, how much space you're going. within the game rulings. So let's say you're going a distance of 1. You would take the 1 card that is a straight line. It's probably like 2 inches or something, 2 or 3 inches. You take the 1, you hold it against the base, you lift the base with the model off while holding the 1 piece down, and then you place it on the end where the arrow is pointing, which is basically where your ship was heading. The direct, it should make sense. If it doesn't, go look it up. You'll find pictures. It'll make more sense if you look at pictures. But anyway, I have that game. I enjoyed that game. I played that with my little brother. I played it with my girlfriend. We enjoyed playing that. She liked it because Star Wars ships, and she blew me up, all my ships up. Which was kind of funny. But anyway, the funny thing is, with that game, you're in a smaller battlefield. You're in a smaller star field. You also have the option of, well, also in the other games, you have the option of placing obstacles like asteroids. And then you have some ships that can take special moves. All the ships can really take special moves. But let's say that I have the Slave One, popularly captained by Boba Fett or Jango Fett. So, well, yeah, no, it would be Boba Fett if it was Slave One. But anyway, because Jango Fett's was a much larger ship. So, Boba Fett's Slave One. So let's say that you have that ship flying in the game. You would have cards that have all the information about that ship on your side of the field. Oh, this guy's just going to run right through. Oh, smart. You would have cards in place on the sides of the map for each of your figures. So if it were just a regular freighter, like a small freighter that it is, you would just have the whatever class freighter card out. Or you would have out the Slave One card, which has different speed, armor, and strength ratings, and maybe it has different ratings for weapons or stuff, different things for weapons. So each figure comes with cards that allow you to have different options. And so you would actually have these specialty ones. Wow, this bus is not actually going to let me go. That is absolutely fantastic. They just kind of jumped out in there, huh? So each one of these will come with different things. But then you have your pilot card. And, that can also add extra bonuses or things to your ship when you have a crew. And you'll know, like the Slave One has a crew of 1 pilot. Okay, so I have a generic pilot of such and such name. Or I have Boba Fett as my pilot. And that will make a big gameplay difference. Then when you get into something like the Millennium Falcon, you have other options as well. You have your regular freighter, your regular YT freighter, card, but then you have the optional title card of Millennium Falcon that gives it extra bonuses. I think it's like a boost bonus or something like that. It allows it to take the boost action or some kind of speed bonus, I think. Then you get into the crew. Let's say that you want to have Han Solo and Chewbacca on board. Well, that changes things in the game overall. And I didn't mention this with the Slave 1 because there's no reason to. But what if you had Han Solo and Chewbacca on board something? Well, you also have another character card of Lando Calrissian. And I cannot remember his little friend, the other alien guy that was flying the Falcon with him. But let's say that you had Han Solo and Chewbacca. Well, now you can't use them in any of your other ships, because you can only have one hero or one character per ship. Unless it's just generic pilot 1. You can have a dozen generic pilot 1. But if you have Han Solo and Chewbacca on the Millennium Falcon, you can't have another YT freighter designated as the Millennium Falcon, and you can't have Han Solo and Chewbacca. But what you can do is have another YT freighter with Lando Calrissian and his little buddy, whose name I can never remember for the life of me. So when you take these extra options, you can't really use them on any other ship. But you still have more options to play with. So it's a very interesting game. I'm not sure how Armada works in that respect because I do not own it. It is a $99 starter set. And I would sooner just buy one of the figures to put up on my desk just to have a figurine of a Star Destroyer than I would buy the entire game until I've saved up my money a little bit and bought all the other things that I want to get first. So, with that being said, I really enjoy X-Wing. Attack Squadron, I think is what it actually is called. I could be wrong. And the clouds are just moving fast today. So anyway, these are just a few games that I enjoy and really like to play, and a few others that I haven't had a chance to, but they look good, and I know how they work, I just don't play them. The hardest part about it is finding people that are into the same thing where I live. Now, a lot of my coworkers have built their own computers and are geeky, nerdy kind of people. I'm happy to call myself that myself. But a lot of these people are gamers, and they're into this kind of stuff too. Some of them are just a little bit into it. Some others are just hardcore MMO players, and I have some coworkers that I can talk about this stuff with. And whether or not I can, get them to find the time to play these games, or even play these games in general, is a totally other conversation that I never really seem to have time for right now because of the move. Now, after the move, it'll be a completely different story. I might actually be able to sit down and enjoy a game with some people if I can get some people into it. The next step will be finding people to get into D&D. That will not be easy. But at the mall, I did find out there is a store at the mall that has gameplay nights. And because I will be 15 minutes versus 35 or so minutes from the mall where I'm moving to, I might actually be able to find a night or two to kind of scamper on over there. With or without my girlfriend, if she doesn't want to go because homework and other stuff, or if she just doesn't want to go. Or if she does want to go. She's into the same things, so she may want to go some days. But I am at my destination, my work here, so I am going to have to cut it here for now, folks. And man, look at those clouds. Look at the sky. It is just rocking along here. It's pretty windy today. All right, well, anyway, folks, I'm going to cut it here for now. We'll come back with another one of these at another time, and I suppose I'll just say bye for now.